Fasten your safety belts, pull up a ringside seat and join me for a hectic and at times hilarious hour of action that proves that, well, boxing can be a really bizarre business. We start with probably the craziest fight night in World Championship history. I was at ringside in Las Vegas 1993 when the savage fighting in the ring between Evander Holyfield and Riddick Bowe took a back seat to what could have been a scene from Star Wars. We joined the action as Holyfield and Bowe put in some overtime after the bell to end round 4. I did warn you to fasten your safety belts.
After the bell, this will keep going. I knew it would. And they've flown in there. The referee can't get in the seconds. Emmanuel Stewart looked like getting caught there. They've actually hauled Holyfield back to the corner.
But this was uneventful compared to what happened during round 7. An alert cameraman got this incredible shot while our eyes were on the ring action.
Oh dear, there's only a parachutist hit the ropes. I do not believe this clown, where he has come from, unreal. Well, everything happens in the fight game. Take time off, the referee said. I would think so.
This is how the two fighters reacted to the crazy ring invasion by the simple skyman James Miller. I can tell you that the uninvited guest who just dropped in wished he could fly away when these ringside spectators got their hands on him. The miracle is nobody got seriously hurt by this daft publicity-seeking stunt, and it took 22 minutes to untangle him. Then it was back to business as usual once the Birdman's wings had been clipped.
Crowd on their feet here. What a finish!
Even at the final bell, Bowe and Holyfield had not had enough of hitting and hurting each other. That's Holyfield's trainer, Emmanuel Stewart, diving in to break them up. He did what Bowe failed to do by taking points winner Holyfield to the canvas with him. It was a fitting finale to a crazy night of boxing. There was another dramatic moment in a world heavyweight title fight when Larry Holmes defended his crown against Ernie Shavers, who justified his reputation as one of the hardest hitting heavyweights of all time here in round 7.
Oh, and what a right hand punch! Once there, Holmes dropped his guard. He paid for it. Is he going to make the count? His legs are wobbly. He's really got to prove himself here. He really is ready to go. Can Shavers finish him? Shavers has done it before. He knocked out Ken Norton. Can he do it with Larry Holmes? And he really, his legs are unbuckled. He's like an infant in a playpen. But what a game champion in Holmes. He's trying to put himself together, and the crowd really spurring Shavers on. What a sensational round 7. If he only timed his punches, and he's saved by the bell there, Larry Holmes. To him, that bell sounded like an orchestra.
Larry the Lionheart battled back, and it was Shavers who needed rescuing here in the 11th.
really is ridiculously one-sided now, and the referee's looking, Holmes is looking at the referee, and he's having a look, is it all over? It should be, and he's talking, and Ernie's saying it's all right. How does he know it's all right when he's really getting punished like this? And it's all over, and that's it. The obvious end, with Ernie Shavers at least having the gladiator's pride of finishing on his feet. Larry Holmes retaining the WBC championship for the 4th time.
I promise you that boxing does not come crazier than this. The boxer who could not find his way into the ring. It gives a whole new meaning to rope-a-dope. But wait, it gets crazier. Remember, our hero has still got to find his way out of the ring.
Yes, OBE Daniel gets it, won the man on a majority vote. So one judge thought the Zulu Warrior won it. And, you know, it was that kind of fight. It was difficult to score. I gave 2 rounds level. He doesn't even know how to get out of the ring, look. Oh, well, he didn't know how to get in it, and he certainly doesn't know how to get out of it, but I'm delighted he did it. Good lad.
From the boxer who didn't know how to get into the ring to the one who refused to leave it. I was at the 1988 Seoul Olympics when this disputed verdict triggered a ring riot.
The Bulgarians got it with a 4-1 to the judges. Well, I give them full marks to judges. They haven't allowed any bias there. You know, now this is absolutely outrageous Olympic boxing. I've never seen this before. There was once when a Korean objected and sat in the middle of the ring, and I think that was in the Tokyo Olympics. But now they're throwing things into the ring as well, and they'll have to bring security in to clear this out. And they're actually going for the referee, who doesn't score, by the way. That nearly is to say that you mishandled our fella and unfairly gave him a public warning, and this has got to get out of hand now.
The beaten Korean then staged a one-man protest. He sat down and then lay down in the ring for 67 minutes in a lonely and pretty pointless vigil. All it got him was a suspension. Now for one of Britain's most colourful and controversial champions. This is Chris Eubank literally heading for trouble in a world title defence against the Canadian Dan Sherry.
Well, that was a backward butt.
Oh.
That was a backward butt from Eubank. If Sherry is cut, the fight could be all over, Reg.
Yeah, I don't know whether the referee would disqualify him for that.
If Sherry is cut, this fight could be all over.
He's saying take time off, and Sherry's on his knees there. He's got hit. It's a back-headed butt there by the look of it.
Reg, that is the biggest round Eubank has had, and he could have the round taken away from him. The least the referee could do is maybe take the round away from Eubank. I think Sherry's maybe play-acting a little bit.
Bring the stall in. He wants to bring the stall in. Now he's going to stop this. Now this fella's not acting. He's right above our commentary position here. Now I wonder what kind of finish we got here, Jim. Eubank objecting.
Reg, I can't believe it had that effect on the fellow. But I mean, it was so stupid from Eubank that I can't believe that butt, because he was still standing a couple of seconds after the butt, and now suddenly he can't feel his legs under him. I think maybe a little bit of exaggeration.
He's really flopped like a jelly there, hasn't he? Right above us. He's fallen off the stool. So let's see this again now, Jim. Look, you see, let's watch it again now.
Here we go, look.
Oh,
a stupid thing to do.
Sherry couldn't continue, and Eubank was very fortunate to escape a disqualification. It was Eubank who first popularised the vaulted ring entrance, and Prince Nassim Hamid turned it into a spectacular showpiece. But here we have proof that Naz had takeoff and landing problems along the way. Then, typical of the Clown Prince, he had another go, and this time he got it right. And this is how he developed his act.
Oh, there we go. Circus clown to the end, isn't he? Oh, how about that one?
Barry McGuigan was always great value for money, and here he is in one of his comeback victories against brave beyond the call of duty Mexican Nicky Perez.
But fair marks here to the Mexican. He's fighting him back. What a good battle he's putting up. Brave guy. I can see now why the matchmakers put him in with world champions, Jim. He makes them, gives them a run, doesn't he? But now he's got to be hitting with a straight punch there. Crowd on their feet, but Perez isn't. And Nathan really bellowing in his ear. And he's got to let him box on. But for how long now in the fourth? It's all over, bar the shouting, I think. He's taken his stick as much as he can, and I think that's it. He now knows, I can't cope with this guy's punching ability. Frustration sets in, he holds his hands high. But the referee says, I don't want any more. It's a compassionate act by Nathan. The whole ring they have catapulted into the ring here, as they always do for a McGuigan victory.
Sometimes boxers take it out on the canvas, and sometimes they top their own hit parade. Yes, it's boxing crazy. There are many good judges who would tell you that George Foreman and Ron Lyle produced back-to-back two of the most explosive rounds of boxing ever seen. Here we are in round 4 and the leather is really flying.
Lyle has Foreman in trouble. Foreman is down. It started with a right, then a left. Foreman looking over here. Lyle to the neutral corner. The mandatory 8 count. Foreman trying to hold together, trying to keep his senses. Lyle putting on a tremendous demonstration. Now trying to move in on Foreman and end it. Now Foreman fighting back. Oh, Foreman is in trouble. Lyle caught him with a good left. Now George, now George struck back. Now George fought back with a magnificent right. George fought back. Lyle let himself open for that.
He got overly aggressive there, and he was very excited, and Foreman was throwing hard desperation punches.
A minute to go in a wild fight, just as Lyle apparently had George in trouble. George with that punching power that we talked about in prior fights. Lyle is down.
No wonder commentator Howard Casella's excited. There's sound distortion on his microphone, but let's stick with the action and the live commentary.
Now 40 seconds left in the round. Lyle covering up against the ropes. His handler screaming to Foreman, hit him in the body. George at the head. Lyle is now wide open. He is Lyle trying to swing back. This isn't artistic, but it is slugging the way the public wants it. Lyle now trying to fight back. Only 10 seconds left in the round. Now Foreman was staggered. Foreman was staggered by a Lyle left. Foreman goes down. Foreman goes down. Lyle fights back. Foreman has no saving by the bell, but Foreman is up. Foreman is up. What a fight, Kenny. A good left by Lyle. Foreman holding on.
Here we go, Howard.
Staggering all over the ring. Lyle against the ropes, throwing the left uppercut. Foreman in trouble again. No bounce in the leg.
Foreman's in bad trouble now, and Lyle's trying to execute with a hook. And Foreman's hands are down, if you notice, which is very good for Lyle's hook and overhand right.
Foreman looking over here at Clancy for advice, and yet he doesn't even seem to be with it. Kenny made the point that George's hands are down, and so they are. George is falling forward over Lyle, trying to hit back.
This is really a heavyweight fight, Howard. It's total guts here and power.
George got a series of left jabs in there, then a right.
And they both exchange right hands, Howard, right there.
Good right uppercut by Lyle. Foreman again in trouble. You see him falling forward onto Lyle. Now it's Lyle. Now it's Lyle. What an incredible fight. Utterly without boxing skills. Just punching away. Each fighter in turn leaving himself open.
Many people in the crowd were urging the referee to stop it as Lyle finally pitched forward to the canvas. Who would have thought that after a war like this, George would have a second coming and still be fighting as a granddaddy of the ring 21 years later?
Punching him again and again and again when it looked like George was done. This time it may be over. This time it may be over.
Lyle's not going to make it, Howard. He's not going to make it.
A knockout in the 5th round. by George Foreman when it seemed Lyle had command of this ever-changing bout.
Foreman was involved in another unforgettable battle when he took the world heavyweight crown from Joe Frazier. This was the night Smoking Joe was well and truly put out.
For the fourth time in the fight, George Foreman is doing to Joe Frazier what he did as a 19-year-old to a veteran Russian, a fellow named Ionis Shapoulis, in October of 1968 in the Mexico City Arena. A quick left from George. Another. Frazier is down for the fifth time in this fight. Fifth time. 3 times in the first round, twice in the second. McCanny checked his senses, checked Frazier's senses. It's target practice for George Foreman. It is target practice. Frazier is ready to go again. Joe is standing. There he goes. 3 times. 3 times. The fight is stopped. No, it is not. It is not stopped. Angie Dundee is screaming, stop it. Ferdy Pacheco, Ali's doctor next to me. It is over. It is over. It is over in the second round. George Foreman is the heavyweight champion of the world.
3 years later, Frazier tried shaving his head to gain some sort of psychological advantage. But it was not the glory, but the punches that again went to his head as Foreman clubbed his way to victory in the 5th round. Poor old Joe must have felt he was eating Foreman's gloves for breakfast. Closer to home, I witnessed few more exciting punch-ups than the British Commonwealth title fight between Mark Hagler and Roy Gums. This was Hagler in all sorts of trouble in the 4th round.
He's an awkward man to fight, Gums. Here you see these. He comes in with every type of punch. And he got exceptionally long reach. And those fists at the end of them are spiteful. They feel a bit like bolts when they land. Well, we've discovered already that Hagler can absorb some good punches, but he doesn't want to absorb too many. Took those well. But not there, he caught him on the temple, and he lost a little bit of control of the legs there, Hagler. And Gums has done this in Commonwealth fights in the 4th round. There was a push at the finish there, but Brim was picking up the count from the timekeeper right next to me. 7, 8. Made it clean. He was banging on the canvas there. Terry Lawless for Hagler to get up and try and take the play away, and the bell has come to the rescue there. That's just when Hagler needed to hear it, and in fact he's hanging on, and you're wondering if he even heard the bell. And it's a long walk back to that corner. He grimaced, Gums there. He showed to the audience, not only to Hagler, that he didn't like that left hand uppercut that came in. Good stiff jab, and Gums looks as though he's cut around the face too, yes, over the eye. His right eye's bleeding quite badly. I think that was why you could see Gums visibly shaking his head at one point. Well, that's an amazing turnaround. Hagler in trouble, and now he's come back and hurt and cut the champion. Putting these together, he's cutting the champion down to size. What a turnaround in the 5th round with a minute to go, and Gums is pinned there in Hagler's own corner. And can he hear this? No, he's counted him out. It looked as though he couldn't hear the count. The ring is absolutely going to be invaded. The security people up, and the Cockney hero, who looked as though he may not survive at one point in the round, came back in the 5th, and have you ever seen a happier face than that? And really, he dismantled piece by piece there, Roy Gums. After he was cut, he really looked as though he'd suddenly not exactly lost interest, but realised that he was going to be punished, and Hagler, to his credit, did not let him off the hook.
We've shown you the greatest round. Now what about the greatest fight? We have to go back to the black and white days of ageist Archie Moore for what many consider the most sensational of all ring wars. Today, there is no question that the fight would have been stopped in this sensational first round.
Did with a right hand to the jaw. 5, 6, 7, 8. Up at 9, but staggering. Dazed and staggering, Evander swarming over him. Is this the night Father Time swings the sign? Archie Moore pounding from rope to rope, and on his feet, rubber-legged. Durrell nailing him with everything he has. The Gallino's champion staggering about the ring. Up at the count of 2, there is no mandatory 8 count. There is no automatic 3 knockdown. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. He's up at the count of 9. 1 minute left in the round. 1 minute. Down 3 times.
Archie somehow survived this first round bashing against the French-Canadian fisherman Yvon Durrell, but was on the hook again in the 5th round.
Durrell came in with a beautiful right-hand shot, and Moore is down again. 6. Up at the count of 6. No mandatory 8 count. 2 minutes to go in the round. That right hand of Yvon Durrell did it again. He has got Archie Moore wobbly. Moore trying to hold on.
The fight took a dramatic swing in the 10th round, and it's now Durrell under the hammer.
Seconds left. Down goes Durrell. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Saved by the bell at the count of 8 and 11. Seconds were late getting out of the ring. At the count of 9, blood streaming from his nose, a cut over his right eye. Moore back after him once again. And down he goes again with a clubbing right hand. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Struggling at 9, 10. He is out. Man, oh man, what a dramatic turn in this fight.
While we're in the black and white era, how about this for explosive action from the 1940s? First, here's Man of Steel Tony Zale dishing it out to the legendary Rocky Graziano in round 3 of their world title fight showdown in New York, June 1948. Rocky, who inspired the book and film Somebody Up There Likes Me, had no divine help here.
He's up at the count of 7.
Would you say Rocky's in any shape to continue? Incredibly, the referee thought so, but the end of the road was not far away for Braveheart Rocky. Three months later, Zale was on the receiving end when French idol Marcel Cerdan ripped the world middleweight title from him with this blitz finish in the 11th round. The bell came too late to save Zale, and he failed to come out for the 12th. Just look at the brutal finish in slow motion. Cerdan, whose romance with singer Edith Piaf made him as famous as his fighting, met a tragic end just a year later. He was killed in a plane crash on his way to the States for a title fight with Jake LaMotta. He remains idolised in France. Moving on to great modern battles, How about this one for one of the most astonishing comebacks of all time? This is Jorge Castro, who's been getting a real belting from John David Jackson in Mexico when he produced an unbelievable one-punch recovery shot.
Now he's going to stop it, I'll bet that, Jed. If the referee was looking for another reason, this could be it, with plenty of time to go. But what a gutsy guy! This I do not believe. Well, that'll teach me, won't it? I was rudely interrupted there by that left hook, and he's going to stop it the other way. The man who was getting beaten out of sight on the verge of defeat. Now, Jim, he should have stopped that there.
He is gone, Reg.
Unbelievable this is it not? Never been beaten, never been stopped, obviously.
Okay.
No, he's
His
not
legs
okay.
have gone.
His
His legs
are
have gone.
Come on, Stanley, that's it. We could see that was going to happen. That is one of the biggest turn-ups I've seen.
Most fight followers will agree that the classic punch in boxing is the left hook. Coming up now, we have two masters of the art, Bob Foster and then our very own Henry Cooper. They were really hooked on boxing. First up, Foster against the great Nigerian gladiator Dick Tiger.
Tiger is down. Tiger down. 6, 7, 8, 9. He's not going to make it. Bob Foster is the new light heavyweight champion of the world. First title defense. Oh, Foster got him with that left and sent him reeling back, and Bob is in now to try for the kill. He has him in the corner directly above us. Pounding away at him with the left, now the right. He's got Kendall on his way down, but Kendall's got courage and strength. He is still standing. Tiger didn't stand. DePaula didn't stand. This man stands. Now, beaten, he goes to the floor. Mandatory 8 count in effect.
Foster looking for that one opening. Foster seems to be measuring his man. Ripping punches, and Rondon goes down. The referee is screaming out the count.
And now to our Enery, and one of the most dramatic finishes I've seen in a British fight ring. Is poor old Joe Erskine about to be turned into a human violin bow.
Combinations to the body and moves quickly to the head. A left and a right, followed by a sharp left, and Erskine is down. Again, Joe Erskine shows great heart. Cooper measures his man, and with a sharp left hook to the body, knocks Erskine down again. Erskine is very tired as Cooper, with a flurry of short punches, floors his man, almost sends him through the ropes. Erskine is counted out in a most unusual way. It's Henry Cooper by a knockout over Joe Erskine for the British and Empire heavyweight title.
At his peak, few could deliver a devastating left hook like Mike Tyson. Just ask Trevor Berbick, who is about to be relieved of his world title, making young Mike at 20 the youngest ever heavyweight champion.
This one is going to be over, I believe. It's over. That's all, and we have a new era in boxing.
And while we're on the subject of ferocious punches, there were few to match the raw clubbing power of old stone-faced Sonny Liston. Seen here thumping his way to victory over Cleveland Big Cat Williams.
Cleveland is up at the count of 8, and Liston wants to finish it. He closes in on Williams in the corner and sends in a volley of rights and lefts to the head. Williams goes down for the second time from that barrage of punches.
From one mighty puncher to another, here's Tommy the Hitman Hearns revealing his atomic power against Pepino Cuevas.
Hey, Buck! Cuevas is down. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. He nods that he's all right. This referee's manager stopping the fight. The manager is stopping the fight.
For Monroe to 159 for Hagler.
And here's the southpaw buzzsaw, marvellous Marvin Haggler, reducing William Monroe to a ruin.
Oh, the worm walked into a left hook. In trouble and grabs a hold of marvelous Marv Hagler. 1:30 to go in round 2. Oh, there goes the... Oh, Lord, he really hit his neck, Bobby. He got a good right in there, but boy, did he hit his head on the turnbuckle. He's up. That's it, the bout is stopped.
There will never be anybody to touch my old pal Muhammed Ali for doing the unexpected and the extraordinary. As he was always telling us, Ali really was the greatest. He was a chatterboxer who even gave interviews during his fights.
Something the world of sport down there, Muhammad, just now. I'm sorry, we missed you with that.
I'm glad my fans in London can see me in my last days. As you see, I'm getting old now. Years ago, I would have took his man in one round.
I had that remarkable chat with Ali during his 1973 points victory over the Dutchman Rudy Lubers. But it was not always quite so friendly. I was also ringside when he responded to some dirty tricks from Chuck Wepner with some illegal stuff of his own.
Referee Tony Perez will have his hands full. Ali pulling some semi-clowning tactics, and now he's got some viciousness in his eye. Ali is trying to psych Wepner is what he's doing. Wepner hasn't hit him behind the head, except for punches that have missed, that have tried to hit him in the face. Ali wants to fight inside, and now Ali has got to the referee, Tony Perez, who does finally do what Ali told him to do and warn Chuck Wepner. They were calling the Ali Whopper, the bolo punch that made so famous. Now Ali is complaining again to Perez. And again Ali, as soon as he complains, goes over and starts hitting Wepner behind the head. Tony Perez this time warns Ali. Ali yells back. Perez is not going...
Points winner Ali always claimed that he was tripped against Wepner and was not knocked down. See what you think.
Part of his body back and slips a punch to his left. Oh, a vicious shot to the rib of Muhammad Ali, and what a surprise! Chuck Wepner gets to the body of Muhammad Ali. Now let's see what happens here. We're going to count it to 6, 7, and now it's the mandatory 8 count. Muhammad Ali actually went down. A vicious right hand thrown by Wepner.
That was the rare, nasty side of Ali, but he never resorted to biting his opponent's ears. He was more likely to talk them off. I've never known anybody match Ali for nerve. Just watch him clowning here with Jerry Quarry, who was one of the most feared and fearsome punchers in the business. I worked as the inter-round summariser on this fight alongside the late, great Eamon Andrews.
Ali says, come on, and he caught him. Caught him 2 lovely ones to the chin. Quarry obeying, Quarry losing his cool, but catches Ali with a nice hook to the chin. But Ali contemptuous again. A referee letting him do that when he shouldn't. Ali treating him with absolute contempt now. And he got him a nice one. And Ali couldn't resist it, pretended to wobble at the knees. He really is playing with Quarry now. Ali out to finish it, yes. It was a last stand, I think. It was Quarry's last gallant effort. Referee must stop it. Yes, it's all over. All over, and rightly so.
Ali was always the greatest in my book, but 2 who ran him close were a couple of sugars, Ray Robinson and Ray Leonard. Both became personal pals of mine, but I wouldn't have liked to have been on the wrong side of them in the ring. Sugar Ray Robinson was a murderous puncher, as he proves here against Carl Bobo Olsen with a devastating knockout victory. This was typical of Robinson's punching power and accuracy, and it explains just why he was world middleweight champion a record 5 times. From the old Sugar to an equally sweet one, Sugar Ray Leonard, the dancing master. Here he is at peak form against marvellous Marvin Haggler, and my mate Jim Watt shares the commentary and the compliments.
We've seen this before where 1 or 2 fighters have given Hagler. Oh, the bolo punch, showed it to him and landed it. That's a strange tactic, I would think, Jim. Letting him hang on the rope, the old Ali stuff. But he's such a confident and cocky character, isn't he, Leonard?
But he's getting away with it. Hagler doesn't seem to be able to match him for sharpness of punch. He's taken too long. A good left hand from Hagler. Okay, when Hagler gets through, he's troubling Leonard, but he doesn't seem to have the sharpness that Leonard has. Now it's time now for the big drive from Hagler, and I think we're getting it now.
Right above our commentary position, those left hooks of Hagler's went in. He's pinned now Leonard in his own corner. I thought Leonard tried to shake his head as if to say, you haven't hurt me, but I'm sure he has. In the 9th now, midway through, and he's going to fight his way out of it again. Maybe he was shaking his head to really take the confidence away there from Hagler. He'd hit him with his best shots and nothing had happened. What a tremendous round. Combine them to short bursts of punches, Leonard, but they're spectacular when he lets them go. Yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of people who are rather surprised at Leonard's bravery. That's always been underestimated, Jim. That's why he's been such a great fighter.
Be my man! You made these people take noise, you got them crazy.
Looking to the corner, I don't know why he's bothering to do that, because he's not showing any distress.
I think Dundee is telling him he's in front, just stay out of trouble. I think Angelo Dundee feels that Leonard has done enough to lift the title tonight. He's just saying, keep out of trouble.
Sugar Ray, the chance of coming in. I don't know whether that will influence the judges. It may well do. 60 seconds then, and we're going to see a bit of fight history here. The great comeback, the Ali shuffle, the tassel boots. The man who was America's great hero in the Olympic Games, Jim, is going to get this decision now.
Yeah, well, he's always been the country's favourite, that's for sure. But if he does get it tonight, nobody can say he doesn't deserve it. He's really shocked me with the way he's gone for winning condition and the show he's put up tonight, the sharpness he has in his punches, his moves, the way he's always put his punches together better than Hagler.
Well, I tell you, they can toss the old adage about they never come back now. If this fella gets the decision, he's done it. Or has he? This really is a sweaty palm time now. And he's caught him in the last now. Surely not in the dying seconds in his own corner, Leonard. No, the bell's done it. Leonard says he's won, so does Hagler. And now we've got to wait the officials. There it is. It's a split one.
Judge Philippe scores the bout. 115, Marvin Haggler. 113, Ray Leonard.
Well, that's a 2-point margin, obviously, and that's pretty clear.
Scores the bout. 118, Leonard. 110, Hagler.
Oh, what a big one he's gone there for Leonard. Now here it is then.
And Judge Philippe scores 115, 113. By the winner, by a split decision, and 2.
Leonard has done it by a split decision.
A modern British middleweight who has been as explosive and exciting as any in the world is Dark Destroyer Nigel Benn, who always gave value and valour for money. Here we see him dismantling Irene Barkley in a world war of a first round.
Well, Ben caught him with the very first shot, raised a right hand, and he staggered them already.
Well, oh my God, He's done him on the ropes in the first minute. He's having to pull him off Padilla, and he's objecting to that, Ben. He's probably saying that you pushed him after you hit him, and now he's giving him the standing 8 count. What a surprise. This fella's been through this before, of course, got off the deck to defeat Tommy Hearns, but can he get over this one? This is a sensational start by the Dark Destroyer.
Bartley's still badly stunned, Reg. He hasn't recovered from that. No defence, he's trying to fire back. This could be all over in the first minute of the fight, Reg.
Well, one of the odds layers made Ben their favourite in this city. They didn't allow local prejudice at all with Barkley, who's a bit of a favourite. Now he's tagged Ben. It's got to happen in a battle of punches. It's going to happen. One has to go. Well, he can't hang his chin up on a platter like that, Ben. That's dangerous. What a sensational start. We always think we've seen it all, but we didn't envisage this, did we?
Both men so careless, Reg. But Nigel Benn really on top, and he's let Bartley right back into the action. Both men still badly shaken. Ben in trouble at the moment.
Coming in with Ben, they're really punishing, but it's a question now who's got the stronger chin, not only the chin but the will by the look of it, Jim.
Well, Ben's got his chin nice and low on the ropes there, Reg, where it should be, and his own shots are good. Ben must keep his chin just down that little bit lower.
Remember that Barkley took a pasting from Hearns and came back, but maybe those days have caught up with him a bit, Jim. That shook him right to the boots, but Barkley there. He had to go down, and he's caught him on the canvas there. There's a lot of objections from the crowd and booing.
That's the second time Ben's thrown punches when Bartley's been on the floor. He could end up disqualified here.
I think it's unlikely they have the no foul rule. It'll take the points away from him. What a round. He's done him again. Remember now, the 3 knockdown rule of WBO is in effect if he goes down once more in this round. No, he stopped it already. Carlos Padilla is saying this man can't go on. It's a compassionate act.
Ben, like a wounded animal, was always at his most dangerous when hurt. Doug DeWitt hurt him in the second round of this fight, and boy, did he pay for it.
Oh! Well, that, as I say, is a turn-up for the book, isn't it? Ben looking so in charge of it. He's looking towards the corner there, OK? As we get the end of the round, if it had gone down later, the count would have continued even if the bell went. Now, that was a shock. What a slugging match this has been now. Ben's been through this before, not only with Michael Watson, but with Anthony Logan, when he had to get off the deck to win.
By the 7th round, Braveheart Ben was back in command.
Oh, he's down to that. He had to go head first down there. He's right above us on the ropes, and they've actually thrown a sponge with water on there, the trainer. That was against the rules. It won't help him at this stage, I don't think.
DeWitt has no defence whatsoever, Reg.
And the round's nearly over, though. Oh, punches after the bell is being pulled apart there. Just keeping Ben controlled while fighting. Oh, a good shot. A punch. I don't think he's going to get up from that. He's been known to get up before, but oh, that was a punch. And he's pitched forward again at the start of the 8th round. And it's 7-8. Do you want to fight, says Randy Newman. And of course, the witness says yes, but it's all over. Part of the shouting, Jim.
DeWitt has nothing. I don't believe he can recover from this, Reg.
I think the WBO have got a 3 knockdown rule in existence here. More control and it'll all be over. Yes, that's it. It's all over. 3rd knockdown, and in the 8th round, Nigel Benn has won the WBO middleweight championship of the world. Steve Holdsworth, who does a sound job as a commentator for Eurosport, goes the rounds with his handheld camera at the ready to record memorable moments from the small hall shows. We ask him to compile his top 20 knockouts. Here they come, get ready to duck.
Right through the middle, and that's Scott Gearan in trouble, and draped over the ropes in the first round, and he's out. Goodness me.
And all the John Baker supporters just down from me here. Oh, I can't use that foot there. Oh, good right there, that's hurt folks, and he's on the deck here in the first round.
Gary actually defended himself very well here.
Oh, good right there from Daru. Yes, I'd say Thomas a very stiff puncher, but lacks a bit of faith in himself. Oh, good right hand there. Backs over in the first. That's right there, Bradley. Oh, good left hook from him. Just out of distance with his shots is Gafara. There he goes.
Oh, there. Goodness me, he's not going to get the chance. So I'll get to that later. Oh, left hook. Fellow's got.
Now we're into the upstairs-downstairs department, and we're at ringside Madison Square Garden when Andrew Golota sunk to new depths against Riddick Bowe. He's making himself a real sitting target for Golota's crude but effective stuff. We could be in for a major upset here. Oh dear, another careless punch there below the belt. Well, he'll got a point deducted for that again, I'm sure. The referee's really got a tough time in this fight. This is some wild man, Golota. He's the governor, all right, and Bowe's looking well below par. Oh, those rabbit punches now. He's getting into illegal territory there, Bowe. That's not his style. A lot of desperation showing there, no doubt about that. Golota may be breaking the rules, and now he's drawing Bowe into it. He's still got to watch those punches. I mean, that was waistline as well, that one. Well, they're both living a bit dangerously at close quarters, but it's Bowe who's got the headache here. Still coming in a bit too heavy in these fights as well, Bowe. And the way it's going, he could get stopped as well. This will be some turn-up. He's got more skills than I thought he had, really, the Polish guy. Those long punches are quite effective. I think they rather like getting into close quarters there. It gives them a little breather, and they need it. He's covering his body up, Bowe, quite a bit, so it's going to be right through that guard there, a sort of cross guard, but he's getting through it all right. Oh, they're stopping him again, yes. Another low punch. This fellow can throw fame and fortune away here, Gallotta, and it's all over. He's disqualified him. And there's going to be trouble here. Somebody from Bo's corner has rushed across the ring. He's using some blunt instrument. It might even be a mobile phone. Oh, this is unbelievable. The Mecca of Madison Square Garden turning into a street brawl. And Gallotta doesn't know what to do. As far as he's concerned, he's lost the fight. There's no point in Bo's corner getting involved, attacking him. Their man has won by disqualification. This really is a sad, sad scene here. Never thought it would happen in such a great arena. And there's Lou Duva. The manager has already had a heart attack and has a pacemaker. And I do hope that's not going to be serious. The man's over 70 years old. Tonight, the fight game is the loser. Boxers wear foul-proof cups to protect them, but it can still be painful when punches land low. Enter Chris Eubank.
Oh. Now, I think he might make a meal of that, the damaged undercarriage there, but he's saying take time off. The referee, who'll give him plenty of time to get over that. There's an obligatory foul-proof protectors have to be worn. Michael Nunn became a reluctant member of the Monty Python Ministry for Funny Walks when Victor Cordoba landed the first of many low blows in their world middleweight title battle. Eventual points winner Michael was none too pleased, I can tell you. Oh yes, definitely a low punch. Oh dear. Oh dear. Now that wasn't as low as some of them, but then they're all marginal, aren't they? You don't know how low they are with this fellow. Look at this. 25 of those 39s. Oh dear. There's no point in throwing him out now. He's let it go too far, this referee. During more than half a century of covering world title fights, I've never seen a finish quite like the one when Lennox Lewis literally reduced Oliver McCall to tears. It gives a dramatic finale to our look at the sometimes noble, sometimes crazy, and always fascinating sport of boxing.
Perhaps this final round might have been better called the crying shame rather than the crying game. Oliver McCall appeared to be a man on the brink of a mental breakdown as Lennox Lewis went about the job of avenging his defeat and regaining the world heavyweight title. Also a crying shame the night John Conte was up and down like a yo-yo when he challenged Matthew Saad Mohammed for the world light heavyweight title, Atlantic City, 1980.
Oh, what a right! 1, 2, 3! He almost fell into that punch. 6, 7, 8. No, he's made it on the mandatory 8 count. but there's no steel in the chin at all now. It's up to Conti. No, I don't understand. He's almost going over with a flick at the finish. Third time down, looking to the corner for help. And the Mexican referee saying, okay, you can go on. He's really got to have a go or grab or do something, Conti, or run. No, there's no chance at all there. He's jumping up and down, Saad Mohammed. He thinks he's won it.
I blame the Mexican referee for Conti's unhappy night. He turned both boxers in a full circle before the first bell. The Mexican must have thought he was in a bull ring showing the matadors off to the crowd. John was in a spin from then on and went into a nosedive in the fourth round. And finally, here's one of the most remarkable finishes I ever saw to a world heavyweight title fight, as Mike Weaver, a mile behind on points, chases John Tate and his title, and it's the 15th and last round.
Saying I fought for the championship, I've got to go out there and try and win it in this last minute or so. But he's running out of time, Mike Weaver. Oh, a left hook, he's not at all. What a finish to the fight. And it looks as though they could count 100 over John Tate. The biggest turn-up in heavyweight boxing we've seen for many a year.
Victor and vanquished finished lying alongside each other. What a crazy world of boxing.
Thanks for your company. Keep punching. And remember, protect yourself at all times.